Gonna be it's always great. And okay, boy, I'm literally out of breath because I had to run back and forth from the house to here, and it is very sad to believe that oh, it's got that yellow tint today. Oh well, it does happen every once in a while. It's the strangest phenomenon, but that's okay. So, we're still in the middle of our Pikudei Torah portion, which is the final Torah portion in the book of Leviticus. And yesterday we talked. Hi, Irene. We talked yesterday a little bit about the idea of living our lives with, through, on the one hand, through mercy, and on the other hand, through justice or judgment. And hi, sis. Hello, Lisa and Chuck. Welcome. Well, today I want to talk about something a little different than what we dealt with yesterday, but it still has to do with the tabernacle. You know, since we're doing these meditations and talking about the tabernacle so much, I'm like, oh man, enough of the tabernacle. Let's move on. But we still have today and tomorrow, and there's one interesting idea I read about this morning that was, let's see if I could find that teaching from, it was just Kedushat Levi, who was a Hasidic teacher. It was the idea of how this was made and then what happens. And the way that he described, Kedushat Levi describes it, is that on the one hand they say, okay, they made the plans. And if you think about the way we've been discussing it ever since Truma, when they said, okay, bring me the gifts, right? Bring me the gifts, and then those gifts, they take a plan, they make the plan, they take the gifts, and then they do it. But there is the idea of you plan it, and then you do your plan. You plan, and you act out the plan. Sometimes I feel like we just act out. A lot of times we go through our day, and by the way, you can't plan everything, right? You can't plan every way that, boy, that looks so weird, that yellowish orange tint. It looks like I've been out in the sun too long in Hawaii. That would be nice, but it is very strange looking, and I don't know why it happens. But all too often, we go through our days and we're not planning. And by the way, why should we plan everything that happens to us in our day in terms of experiences that we have? I mean, yeah, you might plan, I'm going to go to Starbucks this morning, and then I'm going to go to this meeting at this time. And then, I mean, in those ways, we plan out our day. And indeed, right, we plan out our day and then we act upon that. But when it comes to something like the Mishkan, the place where God dwells, when you make that plan's a little different than your everyday plans and how you might live through your day. So what is the plan that we're talking about this way? And I'm just for the purposes of what we do. How does one plan to allow God to dwell inside of you, among you, as part of you? How do we plan a spiritual feeling? How do we plan that? And then how would we execute it? And I like to think that the planning isn't planning a building. It's not planning a mishkan. But it's planning how I can be a vessel that can allow my spirit to be raised, so that I can feel something that's beyond my regular everyday feelings, so that I can tap into that part of me that is open and willing to take in everything that life has to offer. So one of the ways I believe we actually do plan our spiritual life is by doing this, right? We open ourselves up. We get rid of society for 20 minutes. We just think about ourselves as a living, breathing being. And in doing so, we open ourselves up to allow some kind of feeling enter into us that gives us spiritual uplift. That's part of our objective. This morning, we had in our staff meeting, we had Sandy Silas, who's a congregant and a psychologist, and she was talking to us about, last week we talked about anxiety, this week we're talking about resiliency. And, you know, one of the things that she was talking about is the kind of thing you can do that helps a person be resilient, overcome obstacles and challenges. And it's good to know that one of the things that she talked about was breathing. Now, she was talking about it in terms of taking deeper breaths and allowing the breath to kind of come through us. And look, just thinking about that makes me yawn. And yes, I believe that there is a place for breathing deeply. And as part of my practice, I realize that every once in a while I find myself breathing a little more deeply because that's what my body needs. But breathing was one of them, and then positive talk, self-talk. And I shared with her, what do we do in these meditations? She was like, that's the exact kind of thing we're talking about. And I'd like to take that a little further and say that what we are really doing is preparing our bodies and preparing our minds to be able to accept divinity within us, to recognize that we are a physical being, an emotional being, but we're also a spiritual being. And in order to connect with that spirit, you have to kind of leave behind a little bit of the physical world, the stresses of life, the stuff we have to do. And we prepare ourselves internally to be open to accepting. And then as we enter into our lives, hopefully that level of our spirit is in such a place that we can go about our lives in the most positive way. And I think that's our objective. So let's get ourselves ready for the time where we're just being. We're leaving the world behind us a little bit and trying to incorporate in our lives something that we don't normally have if we just go through our days and just deal with what's in front of us. What this may allow us to do is deal with what's in front of us in a way that elevates it to a higher plane, so that we're not just living our lives at their fullest, and we're living our lives to make the world better, if we can. All right. Get yourself into a comfortable yet strong position. And we're ready. Again, that yawn. Boy, I really have to stop doing that, and you'll have to pardon me, all four of you that are here. I guess the four of you that are here is Irene, Lisa, Chuck, and Sis. Because it looks like we had 7 or 8, but now there's only you guys. So welcome. It's nice to have you with us. Okay. Just regular breathing, unless you need to breathe big. Feel what it's like for your breath to go in and out of your body. How does it affect you? What's your body feel like as you do this? We're just allowing everything to be as it is for now. We don't need to change a single thing. You're okay just as you are right this moment. Nothing to change, nothing to fix. In 20 minutes you can go back to changing and fixing yourself. But for now, let's just allow ourselves to be without anything put on that. As we head into our last 4 minutes or so together, we ask for two feelings on Wednesday. May I feel luminous? May I feel loved? Luminous, to be bright and light and filled with knowledge, to shine, to shimmer. To be luminous is to radiate a positive energy into the world. May I feel luminous. And may I feel loved. May I recognize who loves me. Recognize that there's at least one person who does. Recognize that you are loved. So I ask each of those questions. I invite you to, on each breath, say these out loud or to yourself or just a whisper, however you'd like to do it. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel loved. May I appear luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. If you'd like to offer this to someone else, you can just place them in front of you in your mind's eye. May you feel luminous. May you feel loved. 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 May you feel loved. May you feel luminous. Just a couple more breaths. May you feel luminous. May you feel loved. You can bring yourself back. Just several breaths to yourself. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. May I feel loved. May I feel luminous. May I feel luminous and loved. Thank you so much for being with me today. I hope that you were able to find some peace and stillness. May you feel luminous. May you feel loved.